Joe John Madden in Jalapa, Xalapa, Mexico. And that's Eru with all the hair there, teenager. And he and his mom and dad run a restaurant here that they erect from scratch. It's just an empty lot most of the time. And they run 3 nights a week, and Saturday and Sunday they'll be all day. And this is my long form of how they were my confidants about my most significant romances in several years, even though they were both quite short. The first one was I had spent 3 months in El Diamante, which is a tiny little 400-person pueblo, because my car broke down there, and turned out the repairs just kept getting more expensive, that I couldn't afford them, and I was stuck there for 3 months, and finally they put in a new motor, which really left me strapped. And I still have transmission and brake problems, so I may be poor again this month, we'll see. This little path runs up to the barrio, the poor person's neighborhood. On the other side of that street, which is Francisco Villa, this is Francisco Villa School and El Jardín de los Niños daycare. That on the other side of the street, it's very middle class. People have got great apartments and nice cars. Over this, I thought it was just one block, but it turns out there's a honeycomb of little concrete houses, apartments, running down the hill, maybe 60 to 100 homes in there. And I like the poor people better. And Eru the other day, I park in both places. But Eru, they brought me a couple things from the restaurant that I had left. And Eru said, you know, it's dangerous in here. You gotta keep your doors locked. And I said, no, it's not, you're wrong. I've been here several nights. The people here are super sweet, super sweet. So I'm happy over the moon in Jalapa, and I am a psychologist by background and psychotherapist, and so have direct knowledge on one level of the Freudian dark forces. Freud's big contribution was to say the human species has not come to terms with our anger and aggression. They tend to get suppressed, go into the id, out of control. And it's still the case. Long after Freud's big breakthrough back in, the 40s, 1940s, something like that, it's still true. The human species is still afraid of sexuality and aggression. And I had a big spiritual experience 4 years ago, back in Asheville, North Carolina, that stripped me of all my pain and made me a happy person all the time, and gave me access to those forces. I've got direct access to the power of sexuality and aggression. And there's lots about that in other videos. But in 3 years on the road, I've fallen in love a lot of times, but it's never come to anything. And one of the ways I've made sense out of it is that I'm on a tantric path where life has had me feeling the power of sexuality, but not acting on it, which has been really great for me. But in the last 3 days, I had the most promising little encounters with women here in Jalapa. It wouldn't have happened in El Diamante, where they're spiritual and shy, and there's not going to be any no hookups in El Diamante. Oh no. So I had a breakfast meeting with a cousin. I mostly hung out with the Aurelie family. They were 3, the grandparents and 2 of the kids and their families ran a restaurant. And I ended up spending part of every day, big parts of almost every day with them around the restaurant, because they had a Wi-Fi. It was also a hotel. And wonderful, wonderful experiences with them. And there were 2 big parties in the 3 months I was there. One was a quinceañera party, 15-year-old daughter had her coming out as a young woman, and I had heard about these things, but what an honor that I got invited. It was a big party, 200 people at a very lovely event space, and a cumbia band. If you don't know, if you like to dance and don't know cumbia, maybe from Bolivia, I'm not sure where it originated, but it is the most wonderful Latin dance music. So there was great dancing. And then there was a second party just a few weeks later, a 100th birthday party. Miguel and Erubiel were the grandparents who, Erubiel, the grandmother, had opened the restaurant and was the doña, and Miguel was the don. And so family came in from all over for that party, and it was there that I met Irene, who was a prima, a cousin, from Jalapa here. And I didn't have much Spanish. I'm getting better, but I mostly observed. But I knew she was interested in me because I do this sneaky thing of taking selfies over my shoulder, and I can see what's going on behind me. And I saw her looking at me, so I said, yeah, she's interested. So before she left, I said, you know, I'm coming up to Jalapa. If you would, I'd like to meet with you so you could kind of orient me to Jalapa. Not betraying that I thought there might be all kinds of other potential, which it turned out there was. And her response was so great. She says, "Are you a robber?" in Spanish. She doesn't speak much English, but really good with the Google Translator. So we finally got together, and along the way, she's an accountant, so she's an accomplished person, and she's an apple that has fallen far off the tree. She's definitely a whole different, much more sophisticated person, city person. And when I tried to get time with her, she was about to hop on a plane to Los Angeles to meet a guy that she had been getting to know online. So much bigger perspective. And she never gave me a report on that, and I never asked, but she was clearly still available when she and I got together last Wednesday, just 5 days ago now. And we had an awesome time. Presence is my thing these days. I've got after my big spiritual experience on June 26th of 2019, I left Asheville and went to the mountains. And when I'd come back to Asheville, people would say, "You've changed." And it was presence. Calm, steady, fearless. Honestly, it's really true. And so I was calm with her. And I had said in a text exchange we had where she said, "Wouldn't your life be better if you could get out of that camper van and have an apartment? Wouldn't you have better quality of life?" And in the most gentle way, I said, all my best friends have heard me say, "Don't tell me what to do," and they have. And I said, when I'm still really liking the person, I smile when I say it. So I'm in my camper van over here in the Moctezuma neighborhood, smiling. But 5 minutes into our coffee date, she says, "That's way too much sugar you're putting in your coffee. It's terrible." And in my Google Translator, I said, I thought we already had it clear that telling me what to do is not a good thing. And she handled that great. And we just had a great time. And she's a busy person. It was a work day. I figured she'd give me 45 minutes to an hour. And at an hour, sure enough, she said, "I better get going." And she stayed another hour because we were having so much fun. Well, I went walking in a gorgeous big park near there. It was in the central, the downtown district of Jalapa, which I had never seen. And I was smitten. Oh my God, I thought this could be something. And I thought, sure, she was on the same page. Well, she sure was, in a way. By the end of the day, she got back to me and said, "My aunt is willing to put up the money for you to get an apartment in my neighborhood." I said, whoa. I've told her I'm non-monogamous. I've told her that I'm going to be moving on. I have to get to the ocean because that's my vision, is to live by the ocean and swim every day. I love being in the ocean. So when she said, "Hey, let's get you an apartment over here," I thought, yeah, baby, we're on. 8 months. We are going to have a good time. Well, it took about 24 hours to get clear that her vision was that I was definitely marriage potential or partner potential. I don't know if she wants a marriage. And that her plan was put me in an apartment, get me cleaner, get me over this whole crazy thing about camper van and traveling all the time, get me over the notion that I want non-monogamy. Yeah, she was into it. I can shake this guy up. Along the way, she gave me one of the most wonderful affirmations, even after she had given up on that we were going to do anything together. She said, you know, you're really handsome. And my image is that you're right out of the shower. You've got some really great perfume. She used the word perfume, or that's how my translator translated it. And you'd be spectacular. So it was classic. I love you. You're perfect. Now change. She had a vision for how she could make me somebody other than who I am. But we did a great job of negotiating that and ended up having an awful lot of fun on the phone. Texting. WhatsApp. So in the meanwhile, I had my second encounter with Aide, who is a sleazy little street hustler, but cute as can be, and all over me 3 weeks ago when I met her, and again when I met her again a few days ago. So I went directly from Elaine, very middle class, to this, what turned out to be really a con artist. But she kept saying, I love you, and she kept calling me baby, which made me wilt, and standing real close, and lots of little kisses and touches, and I was intoxicated, okay? I was intoxicated. And I bought her 2,000 peso sneaks, which was really out of my budget because I got a big car repair coming up. But I just wanted to make her happy, and really that's where I was. I just want to make her happy. I want her to have a better life, and she's obviously poor, and she's got a little daughter. So let's help her. And I said very clearly, that 2,000 pesos, that's it, because I got these car repairs. Well, we met up yesterday for what was supposed to be an afternoon of drinking and then going back to her place. No. It turned out to be, how much more can I get out of this guy? Maybe he'll buy me clothes, maybe he'll buy me this, maybe he'll buy me that. And I did give her 500 pesos just to go do stuff with her daughter while I went out for a smoke. And I did buy a 400 peso stuffed animal for her daughter. But that's all she got from me. And when she realized that was it, that the free soup kitchen was closed, she said, bye, see ya. So I have unfriended her on Facebook and blocked her on WhatsApp. And I'm regarding it as a great lesson because another friend, David, his secretary had observed our first encounter out on the street. And she was frosty to me because she was very disapproving of what she saw going on. And he warned me, these young girls in Mexico, they don't want money. And I basically said, you know, if she's actually a prostitute, which I don't know that she is, hey, that's a new frontier for me. I've never done that. And if we have good sex and like each other and she needs money, why not? Well, it sure never got to that. But it was a hell of a learning experience, you know? I'm in the game. And so I came back and vented about all that with my friends yesterday. It was great. Okay. I'm breathless. Wow.